April weather is unpredictable in Minnesota, but tonight conditions picture perfect for baseball in downtown Minneapolis. We're ready to play ball at Target Field where the Twins launch a 4-game series against the White Sox. Trevor May returns to the mound for the Twins tonight after a line drive ended his homecoming start in Seattle over the weekend. The Sox turned their ace, Chris Sale, who has enjoyed solid success at Target Field, he'll try for his second win over the Twins this month. Welcome to Twins Baseball on Fox Sports North. The Twins continuing their longest homestand of the season. Tonight, the first of 4 against the Chicago White Sox. A White Sox team that had a weird week. And I mean weird. The Sox had 3 games postponed since last Friday, one by rain, 2 others by civil unrest in Baltimore, leading to yesterday's fan-free game at Orioles Park at Camden Yards. First time fans weren't allowed at a game in Major League Baseball history. Chicago took 2 of 3 from the Twins earlier this month in the Windy City. Jose Abreu had something to do with that. 12 runs scored in the last 9 games. The White Sox, meanwhile, have drawn strength from their bullpen that owns the 6th lowest ERA in baseball. David Robertson, yet to give up an earned run, is their closer. He owns a 2-0 record. The Twins have watched Joe Mauer look like the Joltin' Joe of old. 375 average, 7 RBI over his last 9 games. He is stinging the ball and doing it consistently. Earlier this season, the Twins couldn't buy a run. Tonight, the only question is, will they get them on sale? Dick and Bert discuss the starters next.
Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code TWINCITY.
Tonight, the month of April comes to a close. It's the second time in the opening month of the year that the Twins will have to face left-hander Chris Sale. He beat the Twins in Chicago in the first road trip of the year. Trevor May wasn't a part of the team yet at that point. He will hope to make it 3 for 3 in wins and starts against the White Sox. Beautiful night for baseball at Target Field. Dick and Bert with you for the opening game of this 4-game series. Chris Sale is one of the nastiest pitchers in baseball. I can't imagine it's going to help Twins hitters much, having seen him twice in 1 month.
I think you said the right word for Chris Sale. He is nasty. A left-hander that throws about 3/4, sometimes sidearm, and unbelievable numbers against the Twins. In 9 major league starts, he's also a closer for the White Sox when he first came up. 7-1 with a 2.58 earned run average. Twins have to try to do everything they can to score a couple runs off of him, and it's important for Trevor May to really put some zeros on the board early. He gave up a couple runs in his last outing against the Mariners, and then in the 4th inning ended up getting hit on that right arm. He came out of the ball game. He said he's ready to go, and the big concern here tonight for Trevor May will be about his elbow. Is he going to be okay? His first win came against the White Sox last year in Chicago, and then he has options left. Hey, Twins have a lot of starters, some moves they have to make. This is a big outing for Trevor May.
4-game series don't come along every week, and the Twins have 2 of them back-to-back here at Target Field. First of 4 with the White Sox. Coming up next. More. They connect. Yes, Minneapolis and Chicago are separated by 408 miles and even more in style, but connected in sport. Dozier walks off the White Sox. Parisi scores! From lakefront skylines to blue skies over 10,000 lakes, Michigan Avenue to Nicollet Avenue. There's Vikings, Bears, Bulls, and Wolves, but right now it's Twins, Sox, and Wild Hawks. Each carrying questions, both needing answers. Can the Twins push past the disappointment of yesterday and play with determination? Can the Wild avenge 2 straight playoff exits by showing the Blackhawks the door? The answers won't be immediate, but that's why we watch. Not for what happened, but the magic of what might. That starts tonight for 2 cities so close, yet so far away. And the Twins were in Chicago for the opening week of the season. Won 1 game, lost 2. So they'd like to come back and win this series. They've got a 4-game series with Oakland coming up. They'd like to win that. Basically, they'd like to follow a winning homestand with another one here.
Yeah, very, very nice open right there. And, of course, the White Sox managed by Robin Ventura. Ventura in his 4th season as a White Sox manager.
And the Menards batting order for the White Sox a little bit different, with Alexei Ramirez moving up to 2nd in the order. The White Sox, like the Twins, have been struggling to score runs. So it's Eaton, Ramirez, Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu, Adam LaRoche, Avisail Garcia, Connor Gillespie, Tyler Flowers, and Micah Johnson.
And here tonight it will be Trevor May on the mound, looking for his 2nd win of the year, making his 4th start, his first against the White Sox this year. A little bit of history of Trevor May against the White Sox. That has to go back to last year when he won both of his decisions against the White Sox. Won his first major league game against the Sox here on September 3rd, and then defeated them again later in September in Chicago.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins, one of the several areas they'd like to shore up as they wrap up the first month of the season. Eduardo Escobar in left, Shane Robinson in center, Torrey Hunter in right, Luke Santana, Dozier, Maurer, the infielders, and Suzuki back behind the plate. You'll look at the Chicago batting orders as we bring them to you. Jim Joyce calling balls and strikes, about as good as they get in terms of being an all-around umpire. Greg Gibson, Marvin Hudson, Chad Fairchild. But as we go through the White Sox batting order, you'll see, well, Eaton hitting 192. Alexei Ramirez hitting less than 200. White Sox and the Twins both struggling to score runs in the early going. And Eaton takes strike 1 on the outside corner.
Yeah, both clubs on the lower third, not only of offense, also on pitching. So you anticipate with Chris Sale on the mound and Trevor May, hopefully it'll be a low-scoring game here tonight.
2 strikes. Twins hitting 238 as a team. White Sox hitting 236. Teams are last and next to last in home runs hit, not in the American League, but in Major League Baseball. Down and in, 1-2.
And everybody has a plate setter, and Adam Eaton, one of those plate setters that he just he hasn't gotten it going yet, hitting only 192.
Up high, 2-2.
May with a good fastball in the low 90s, hard curveball. He'll mix in a slider and a changeup, all 4 pitches.
Flat foul. Past the tarp, still 2-2.
Eaton last year for the White Sox in his first season hit 300 in 123 games. Spent some time on the disabled list with a right oblique strain, and May picks up his first strikeout. Takes the fastball away, and May gets the first out.
Just the 13th time in 74 at bats that Eaton's gone down on strikes. 1 down, that'll bring up Alexei Ramirez. Ramirez has hit in the 2-hole before. Robin Ventura giving him a chance there to try to shake up this Chicago lineup a little bit. Up and in, 1-0. Right field. And Hunter has the ball skipped by him. Ramirez will round first, go to second, and he'll be in with a single and I suspect an error charge to Torrey Hunter.
Yeah, Ramirez came into that at bat hitting only 194, but don't tell the Twins pitchers that, because he is a career .315 hitter in his career against the Twins. Here, a fastball that he just lines in front of Torrey Hunter, and bad decision by Torrey. Either you try to shoestring it or get your body in front of it. And that ball ricochets off his glove and gets behind him, and Ramirez will be credited with a double.
Here's Cabrera with a runner at second and 1 out.
Yeah, that's more of a single and an error. Torrey knows better than that.
Strike 1. Cabrera in his first year with the White Sox.
Cabrera over the winter, signing a 3-year contract with the White Sox, signed through 2017.
A foul, 2 strikes.
Switch hitting outfielder hitting .367 as a left-handed hitter and only .045 as a right-handed hitter.
1 hit, 1 single, and 22 at bats from the other side of the plate. 2 strikes from May to Cabrera. And a liner to center, a base hit. Robinson charges. Ramirez around third. The throw coming through to the plate, and he is out. Shane Robinson on target from center field.
He did a great job of charging this ball, and Ramirez at second base had to hold up just for a split second right there, and that allowed Robertson to get that first hop and throw it to home right there, and Suzuki able to apply the tag.
2 hops, but right on the money, and Suzuki quickly getting the glove over. And I'm not sure Ramirez has still touched the plate. On the throw to the plate, Cabrera takes second, and now Jose Abreu.
Remember the other night here on Monday night, Robinson playing left field throughout Iglesias at home plate on a fly ball off the bat of Victor Martinez.
1-0. And that's up the middle. Dozier with a nice stop behind the bag, and he throws him out. Defense up the middle, a factor, a big factor, as the White Sox come up empty in the first.
Ball left up right there, and that's maybe what Neil Al say. You got to concentrate down, young man. Get that ball down.
Well, the Menards batting order for the Twins has Brian Dozier in the leadoff spot for the series opener. Then Torrey Hunter, Joe Mauer, Trevor Plouffe, Kurt Suzuki, Kenny Vargas, Eduardo Escobar, Shane Robinson, and then Danny Santana.
And for the second time this season, the Twins will face Chris Sale. He made his first start of the year. He started the season on a disabled. Made his first start on April 12th in Chicago and ended up beating Phil Hughes 6-2.
Dozier jumps after the first pitch and fouls it straight back into the upper deck. Second level here at Target Field.
Sale, 26 years old. Good fastball, very good control. Big sweeping breaking ball and a very good changeup. 3 very good pitches.
Dozier's hit a couple of home runs against Sale in his career. Total of 5 hits, 22 at bats. A high fly to left. Melky Cabrera gloves it, 1 away.
We'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Northland Ford defense for the White Sox. Cabrera in left, Adam Eaton in center, Avisail Garcia in right, Connor Gillespie, Alexei Ramirez, Micah Johnson, their second baseman this year, Jose Abreu at first, and Tyler Flowers behind plate.
Yeah, you know, even though Sale is 7-1 his career against the Twins, there have been some Twin batters that have had some success against this left-hander.
This one hooked to the corner, deep down the line. One hops the wall, Hunter around first, he'll dig for second. And he is in on a close play at second base. That's a nice fetch and throw by Melky Cabrera in the corner.
Yeah, Cabrera did a great job of getting that ball back in and making it look not like a routine double. Torrey jumped on that first pitch. It came inside and Torrey opened up quickly. Hit it down that left field line, and it's a line drive. Cabrera plays the carom and makes a good strong throw to second base. Torrey just able to get that right foot on the bag. Hunter with his 5th double of the year.
4 pitches, 4 strikes, 3 of them have been swung at. Bauer takes strike 1. Joe off to a good start this year. A great start against left-handed pitching. He's hitting .342 against left-handers, but throw all the numbers out against this guy because I can't imagine there's a tougher left-hander for a left-hander to hit than Chris Sale. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
And it's a big sweeping hard breaking ball, and right there he almost looks like he's throwing where the umpire is standing at second base because of that sidearm delivery. See the numbers of Joe against lefties and righties.
2 strikes to Mauer.
Try to hang in there, I'm sure, as a left-handed hitter as good as you can, but in Sale's career he's got great numbers against left-handed hitters. Four seasons as a starter for Chris Sale. Left-handers hitting just .191 against him.
Foul back. 97-mile-per-hour fastball up, and Mauer fouled it straight back.
He is facing a guy right now, Joe Mauer, that has swung a very hot bat over those last 8 ball games, hitting .375. Got that batting average coming into today's play at an even .300. Driving in some runs. Leads the club with 11 RBIs.
Another 1-2 pitch from Sale. And the breaking pitch flipped foul. We've seen the fastball. We've seen the slider. I don't know that we've seen the changeup, but Sale has developed that into a very effective pitch for him as well. Up and away at 96 miles per hour. I showed you in the pregame show the White Sox and Sale's last start had a little skirmish with the Royals because of everything that happened on the field and off the field. Sale is facing a 5-game suspension. And now in the dirt, 3-2. He is appealing the suspension. But so was Yordano Ventura, who announced today he's dropped his appeal and his suspension, a 7-gamer, begins today. What happened?
Well, Chris Sale started against Ventura, and Ventura yelling at Adam Eaton, and both benches opened up and ended up on the field. As many times as clubs have gone on the field against Kansas City, this is the first time there was a little fisticuffs going on.
Mauer dumps one to short left, and that's going to drop for a hit. Hunter got a great read from second base. He will score. The veteran got a real good look, got a great jump, and it's 1-0 Twins.
Yeah, you just do not stand at second base and hope the guy drives you in. You kind of turn around and see where the outfielders are playing Joe Mauer. Then you watch it off the bat. and it wasn't hit sharply, but soft enough to get into short left field. Watch Torrey right here, right there. He notices that Cabrera's not going to be able to catch it. Has a sense where that ball's going to get, and scores the Twins' first run. So now we're picking up his 12th RBI.
Everything you talked about there was evident watching Torrey's reaction. Here's a ball to Trevor Plouffe. He knew before the pitch was thrown where Cabrera was playing because he took the time to look. And once he saw that it was just going to be a 160-foot pop-up down the line, he took off. Plouffe with what we thought was a big 3-run home run yesterday. Gave the Twins a 7-3 lead after 5 innings, but probably know what happened in the rest of the game last night. Twins didn't play well. The Tigers did, and they came back to beat the Twins. 1-1 to Plouffe, and a snap throw to first. Plouffe, the only Twin with 3 home runs. Up and away, 2-1. Sale started by throwing 5 strikes. And now he's got 15 pitches, 10 strikes and 5 balls. Suzuki on deck. Taken low, 3-1.
Good take right there by Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe got a fastball down and in from Shane Green yesterday and hit that 3-run home run.
0-2 pitch.
Green said he made a mistake.
And a walk now, putting Plouffe at first and sending Mauer to second. Right, you've got a run on the board, but you know the quality of starting pitcher you're dealing with here tonight. You really want to get at least one more out of this. There's a man in scoring position with 1 out. We'll see what Suzuki can get done. Everybody with the White Sox just happy to get out of Baltimore. They couldn't play, and when they did play, they didn't play well. And they played under curious circumstances with no fans allowed in the ballpark. Hoping for a better start here in this 4-game series, but the first inning hasn't exactly gone Chicago's way. Runner thrown out at the plate. Suzuki at the plate. Is his average up to 241.
And Kurt 4 for 12 lifetime against Chris Sale with a double.
And lifted foul over the Twins dugout.
I think the Twins game plan is he starts you off with a fastball. Be ready to swing. Torrey jumped on that first fastball, hit that double.
Dozier went after the first pitch,
right.
A fastball.
Yep.
Bauer took it, true to form.
Yeah.
1 strike. Fastball, 2 strikes.
That's a tough one to lay off. And Sale is a strikeout pitcher over his career. Coming into today's play, 693 and 2/3 innings. He has 753 career strikeouts.
On the inside corner at 98 miles per hour, and Suzuki heads back to the dugout, 2 down.
Here's where you're going to hear nasty right there. It's a nasty pitch. And I guess right there, good pitch. Jim Joyce, you can hear him all the way to St. Paul sometimes ring somebody up. But it's too bad he wasn't behind the plate yesterday in Baltimore. We could have heard him a mile away.
Vargas the hitter. 2 on, 2 out. Strike 1. Vargas hitting over 300 from this side of the plate, just barely over 100 as a left-handed batter. Swing and a miss.
There's that changeup. I think that's the first changeup we've seen. what that changeup does, it has some movement down and away to a right-handed hitter.
0-2 to the designated hitter. 1-2.
Another changeup there at 86 miles an hour. Cooper, the pitching coach, Robin Ventura.
Came back inside and hit the corner as he did to Suzuki. And the Twins get one and leave two in the first. Shane Robinson's on target 2-hopper.
Yeah, Shane got that one hopper and then make a nice throw towards Suzuki. He's able to tag out Ramirez. And one thing we have seen this year, some good throws home. Escobar right there throwing out a runner. Some good catches against the wall. And this is what Robinson did the other night when he threw out
May with the first pitch, breaking ball over for strike one to Adam LaRoche.
Yeah, that was Iglesias that he threw out at home plate.
Now with one strike, the Twins put a pole shift on for LaRoche. He has been Chicago's primary designated hitter. He's only played 2 games at first base. Robin Ventura said before the game today he might put LaRoche over at first base tomorrow.
He's a Gold Glove first baseman. He got the Gold Glove with the Nationals in 2012. So he's just not a designated hitter. He's just off to a slow start.
And he's had some back issues, and the White Sox might be trying to protect him a little bit, particularly in the cold weather. 2-2. Not cold tonight. It's a beautiful late April night for baseball. LaRoche will be followed by Garcia and then Gillespie. Changeup got him. One away. Second strikeout. Let's check in with Marty Gellner.
Guys, the Twins had 3 players leave yesterday's game with injuries. We have our Sanford Health injury report tonight, starting with Phil Hughes, who left with a sore hip. Hughes did some jogging today, and he's planning to throw a side in a couple of days. The Twins will know more about him then. Casey Fien went to the disabled list with a sore shoulder, something that's been lingering for a while. So Michael Tonkin was called up from AAA. Jordan Schaefer left with an aggravated MCL, just a mild sprain. He's not in the starting lineup tonight, but that's because he's a left-handed bat. Molitor didn't want him to have to face Chris Sale, but he is available off the bench tonight. A lengthy injury report.
Yes. Thank you, Marty. Unfortunately, Twins had one of the more disappointing losses of the year yesterday, but then had to have 3 players come out of the game as well.
I remember in early April, Casey Fien was pushed back 3 or 4 days because of that shoulder. Yesterday threw a lot of pitches.
Garcia
pulls the ball through the hole. Another 1-out hit for the White Sox. Regarding Hughes, who left the game after 5 innings and actually was a pitcher of record until the Tigers came back with a 7-3 lead. Twins are, Paul Molitor are going to have to wait a little bit. They want Hughes to have a bullpen session, not tomorrow, but Saturday, and then they hope to get a thumbs up from Phil that he'll be able to make his next start. It's not out of the question, I suppose, that Hughes might be put on the disabled list. Tommy Milone was bounced out of the rotation today, was told he'll have bullpen duty. Gillespie stands in for the White Sox. Here's a high drive to right center field and deep. Hunter to the wall. He is there for the catch. Out number 2.
Well, Gillespie, a good fastball hitter, and he hit that fastball a long way, but right at the warning track in deep right center.
2 down, and Garcia still at first. Here's Tyler Flowers. Anyway, if the worst fears become true and Hughes is continued to be bothered by his hip injury, it would be easy to then slide Tommy Milone back into the rotation. 3 hits for the White Sox. They've all been singles. They've all come with 1 out in an inning. And now Flowers takes strike 1 over the inside corner. There's Milone. Handled the demotion, if you want to call it that, in a very professional manner. Understands he hasn't pitched up to his standards.
I know Ricky Nolasco's scheduled for Saturday, but it was Milone who won the Twins' first game against the White Sox on opening night when he pitched 7 2/3 innings of shutout baseball against the Sox.
1 strike to Tyler Flowers. 2 strikes. The bottom line is, of course, that right now the Twins have an entirely right-handed starting rotation. Milone was the only lefty. He's out. Nolasco slides in for him. Twins aren't going to budge Mike Pelfrey the way he's been pitching. And the hope is Trevor May can continue to develop and give the Twins some effective starts. 2 strikes to Flowers. Up high.
What you want out of Trevor May is get into the 6th and 7th inning. Most of his major league starts, he's gone, maybe 6. He's right in that 5.5, 5 1/3 innings. Keep that pitch count down to a minimum the first 3 or 4 innings so you can get into the 6th and 7th.
Breaking ball pulled down the line, foul.
May's career as far as starts, making his 13th major league start. The longest he's gone is 6 innings.
I don't know, when he made his debut and he had a terrible case of the butterflies and could not throw the ball over the plate, that we would be looking at his stat line here at the end of April this year and see that there have been 15 strikeouts and only 2 walks, one of those intentional. This is a guy who looked like control was going to be a big issue for him, and all it was really was a terrible case of the nerves, and he's not the first pitcher to have had that.
No, you can see the 12 major league starts, the high earned run average.
Foul back, still 1-2. You look at Tommy Milone, and he gave the Twins 1 good start and has a couple of wins, but he's been moved to the bullpen now with 13 strikeouts and 11 walks.
That's not. He was off the other night, and he knew it.
Kyle Gibson, 6 strikeouts, 12 walks. In the dirt, smothered by Suzuki, 2-2. So like any young pitcher, there are probably some numbers you prefer not to look at, but I think that's an important one. The strikeout to walk ratio for Trevor May has been very, very good. And roughly a hit per inning pitched. 2-2, trying to get Flowers and get the Twins off the field in the second. Popped up, that should do it. Santana comes in and makes the catch. A 1-out single does no damage. Twins have a 1-0 lead. And Eduardo Escobar will lead things off for the Twins in the second. To do with Chris Sale, but since becoming a starting pitcher in 2012, Sale's been a game changer. He ranks 4th in ERA at 2.78, 6th in opponent batting average at 225, and 8th with 642 strikeouts.
Yeah, I remember in 2010 when they brought him up, he was in the bullpen for the first couple of years, thinking he was going to be the next closer for the White Sox. I think they made the right move in putting this guy in the rotation.
Swing and a miss. And a fastball. 0-2 quickly to Escobar.
Last 3 seasons, he's been in the top 6 in the American League in the Cy Young Award voting.
Oak to center. Eaton in his tracks, 1 away. Before Shane Robinson comes to the plate. Take your family to the ballpark this summer in the Minnesota Twins, our family section presented by Fox Sports North. Tickets in the alcohol-free section start at just $10, include a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. For ticket information, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar. Shane Robinson in center. Already contributed defensively. Here's a ball sent to the right field corner. And a foul ball. Robinson hit what little foul territory there is between the grandstand and the foul line. 1 strike.
Yeah, ball just kept slicing away from Garcia and landing about a couple feet foul.
So 1 strike. One thing to keep in mind with Robinson up now, Santana, and then Dozier. In yesterday's defeat, the Twins 3 times tried and succeeded in laying down a bunt hit. And Sale would seem to me, as nasty as he is, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you'd be tempted to maybe drop down a bunt. Popped up, playable for Abreu and foul ground. 2 down. And that'll bring up Santana. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Danny Santana in his last 8 games hitting like he did most of last year. Base percentage with a few walks mixed in, 11 strikeouts. Got off to a slow start. Santana got one of the bunt hits yesterday.
Yeah, Dozier got one that followed Santana, and then later in the ball game it was Schaefer.
That was the first 2 bunt hits back to back. Were in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Twins got clutch hit here. Plouffe hit his 3-run home run, and Tapper toward the hole, dropped by Ramirez, and Santana will reach. Santana flying down the line. We'll see what the official scorer does here.
Well, that should be an error right there, only because watch Ramirez just go to his right, laying that hop, and the ball just clanked. Just kind of looks at his glove. Watch right here if we keep it on there. In his glove, out of his glove.
After the ruling in the first inning, I don't take anything for granted. It is a Chicago error.
Ramirez charged with his 3rd error of the year.
We'll see if Santana takes off. He's checked right away with Dozier at the plate. Anyway, just regarding the bunting, I asked Paul Molitor before the game today. I said, did those 3 guys bunt on their own, or did they get a sign? He said, no, they all bunted on their own. They do. The Twins have a sign that, hey, we want you to try to drop down a bunt for a base hit. Another sign for, hey, give it a look, think about it, because look where third baseman's playing or whatever. But in all 3 cases yesterday, the 3 bunters did it on their own. 1 strike to Dozier. And Santana takes off, and the ball flipped to center. And that ball lands in front of Eaton. Santana streaks to 3rd. He's coming home, and he will score.
Good job, Gene Glenn.
Because he took off and because he kept barreling toward 3rd, Gene Glenn said, go on, and he did.
Yeah, good job, Gene Glenn. He read Eaton. And sometimes a coach can get you a run, and Gene Glenn got the Twins a run right here. Just a little bloop in the center field. But you can see Santana did not stop running and then picked up Gene Glenn. Go ahead and go. The ball bobbled by Abreu, who's the cutoff man, and that allowed Santana to score.
Didn't know for a while who's going to get to home plate first, Danny Santana or Gene Glenn. 2-0, and Hunter takes outside, ball 1.
Dozier will get credited with an RBI single. So the score is an unearned run, but Twins have a 2-0 lead.
One 1-0 to Torrey Hunter. Drilled a double off the fence and left his first time up. Ramirez gets another chance and fires to second to end the inning. A 2-out error by Alexei Ramirez put Danny Santana on the bases, and he scored on a single. It's 2-0. Century Link, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Start for the Twins here after a disappointing loss yesterday. A quick 2-0 lead. Micah Johnson takes strike one from Trevor May.
9 batters now faced by May, and 7 first pitch strikes.
Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. And May giving up 3 singles. All 3 singlers have been left aboard. 1 thrown out at the plate. One and 2. Hacked foul.
Johnson in his rookie season with the White Sox, 24-year-old.
11 hits, 10 of them singles. The other hit a double. 1 and 2. And he punches a single to center. 4th Chicago hit. First time through the order. That'll bring up Adam Eaton. You can hit the sweet spot all season long at Target Field. The Sweet Spot program, a unique set of benefits and experiences exclusive to season ticket holders. Benefits range from pregame field passes to bobblehead dolls, taking batting practice on the field, raising the Twins territory flag, reserved exclusively for Twins full season 40-game and 20-game plan holders. Call 833-TWINS or go to twinsbaseball.com for more info. Here's Eaton. Swinging a foul. 1 strike. Eaton went down swinging his first time up.
Yeah, keep an eye on Johnson at first base. A couple years ago, he stole 84 bases in the minor leagues. 2 for 4 so far in his rookie season.
Step off.
There's not been an attempted stolen base against May yet. Johnson diving back.
Speed pitch on the outside corner.
That's the curveball right there by May. So ahead in the count to Adam Eaton.
Twins have turned just 1 ground ball double play behind May this year. At 16 2/3 innings.
See Suzuki with the paint on his fingernails. Was a sign to throw over. Kind of all 5 fingers and then 1. I would imagine the 1 meant first base.
Two strikes to Eaton. And Suzuki will come to the mound. May look like he might have had something getting his eye.
Right. Of course, a lot of those signs, Kurt Suzuki, the veteran, but also a lot of those signs coming from the dugout, trying to keep Johnson close to first.
Not the pitch selection, but the throwovers, the
right.
step-offs, things like that. Right. Two strikes to Adam Eaton.
Going fastball in. Get it in there.
That's hit to center field. And that, like so many hits today, just a little flare, a flop into the short outfield. It's first and second now with nobody out. Twins have gotten a couple of hits like that.
Got to make sure you get that ball way in there right there. You're ahead in the count 0-2. That allowed Eaton to fight it off and just hit that little flare in the center field. You're ahead in the count, so you have to bust that ball at least 6 inches to a foot inside if you want to open up that outer half of the plate. You have that opportunity to do it with that pitch.
First and second, nobody out. Here's Ramirez. He lined a double, I guess, into right field. Landed in front of Hunter and skipped behind him. Ball one.
Ramirez in his 8th season with the White Sox. Made the All-Star team last year. Career 277 hitter, but again against the Twins came into this game hitting .315.
There's the outside corner. 5 hits and 10 at bats for the White Sox against May. Ramirez still looking for career home run number 100, and the Twins hope it happens on Monday.
These clubs play each other a lot. You see 17 of the 99 home runs have come against the Twins.
Chop foul. Got a piece of Suzuki. 1 and 2.
I'd like to get a ground ball right here. 1 double play turned behind May so far, this being his 4th start.
Trevor's told us on the air when he's been nice enough to join us that he's got an awful lot of confidence in a changeup, but sometimes you're a little reluctant, some pitchers are anyway, to throw a changeup to a same-sided batter. You really got to be confident to do that, but I think it's safe to say the changeup is his best strikeout pitch, isn't it?
He's got that hard breaking ball too. That looked like the changeup right there.
In the dirt, scooped out by Suzuki.
And if you look at home, you look at Ramirez, how close he is to the batter's plate. Nice stop by Suzuki. Keeps the runners at 1st and 2nd. Look at that. He is as close as you can get. And he's very quick inside. But he will chase that breaking ball down and away.
Ball sailing down and in. Now it's 3 and 2. Speed on the bases, both at 2nd and at 1st base. So we'll see whether the White Sox start the runners here.
Joe McEwen, the 3rd base coach, letting his runners know what they're going to do here. There's Joe.
Full count to Ramirez. Runners stay put, and the ball tapped to short. Out at 2nd, relay to 1st, not in time. 1 down. And the double play now in order for Cabrera.
That looked like the changeup right there, and Ramirez out front created a ground ball, but not hit quite hard enough for the speedy Ramirez. Because he gets down that line pretty good. That looked like a breaking ball. Watch Ramirez. He knows he has to stay out of that double play, hustling down the line, and he's able to do that. So runners at the corners with 1 out.
Cabrera with a single his last time up. He hit the little ground ball base hit up the middle. Flared foul. Actually got to Robinson on 1 hop, and then Robinson on 2 hops threw it back to Suzuki to throw out Ramirez in the 1st inning. 1 strike. That ball sliced away from Dozier. Hard smash to center field, and it looked for a while that Dozier might be able to make the catch, but Cabrera was all over that. Ball actually sliced away from the second baseman.
Boy, he hit this ball hard. Cabrera picking up an RBI, his 6th of the year on his 2nd hit. And you saw that ball come back over the plate. Suzuki wanted it in, and by the time Dozier dove for that ball, he got by him.
Run at 2nd, 1 down. 3 singles in this inning, and 6 hits in all for the White Sox already, but they're down a run. Here's Jose Abreu. It's to 2nd, his 1st time up. That one hit to center. Robinson will charge, and Ramirez will try again. This time he will score,
And that's another hit for the White Sox in a tie game. Both sides, some of these base hits aren't particularly well hit, but already the White Sox have 7 and the Twins have 3.
Right off the end of the bat, but Abreu just hits it softly into center field, picking up his 15th RBI. And Ramirez getting a good jump, scoring from second base. Cabrera staying at second. Neil Allen out with a quick trip to the mound by the pitching coach.
7 hits and 13 at bats. White Sox. Adam LaRoche, the batter.
You know, Dick, we were talking last inning about Trevor May, about being a young pitcher. Yes, maybe at this level, but he's had 8 years in the minor leagues. He's a 25-year-old. Twins expect him to do well now.
Down and in, ball 1. Came to the Twins in separate trades, but the Twins are still waiting on Alex Meyer, who had a disappointing outing the other day. 1-0 to LaRoche in a tie game. 2-0.
Well, and he's like May, and he's already, I mean, he has said that it's time for me to find out if I can get to the big leagues or not. He too is 25 years old.
He needs a ground ball hit at somebody. A fly ball hit in the general direction of Escobar. He makes a nice running catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up Garcia. Our Soup.com tribute: who are the 2 White Sox rookies to hit 30-plus home runs in a season? One of them was a Rookie of the Year and had a lot of fun against you, I believe.
Is his first name Ron?
And Abreu last year had a phenomenal year. He too was a Rookie of the Year. Avisail Garcia singled his first time up. Foul ball, strike 1.
Well, the pitch count now at 51. Trying to get the final out here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Slower off-speed pitch, and gets a swing and a miss. 2 strikes. Seen a lot of off-speed stuff since Neil Allen went to the mound. Rose saw a couple of change-ups.
I think the biggest thing what we've seen, he has a fastball, good fastball, 92, 94 at times, but the location, just leaving a lot of pitches up. Neil Allen, I think, saying mix in that curveball, mix in that changeup.
3 breaking balls. Garcia strikes out. The White Sox get 4 hits and a couple of runs in the 3rd.
find over 900 family resorts that offer a variety of activities to keep every family member entertained. Get out and enjoy fishing, boating, swimming, hiking, biking, and more. Visit exploreminnesota.com. Discover a world that's only in Minnesota. Share and tag your Minnesota experiences with hashtag #OnlyInMN. 90,000 miles of shoreline in Minnesota. 90,000 miles. That's more shoreline than California, Florida, and Hawaii combined. So there, Mr. Florida. Joe Mauer, rather, leading off the third inning. Mauer,
and California.
And California.
Yeah.
I enjoyed some of Minnesota's shoreline yesterday. We didn't televise yesterday, so I went up to the lake I prefer to go to and spent about 3 hours enjoying the ball game. Here's a ball drifted to center field. And Eaton can't make the play. Canked out of his glove, and Mauer to second base. A long run, and he got there.
That was a great effort right there by Adam Eaton. He went a long way for this ball. And from where we're sitting, it looked like it just hit the top of his glove. Look where Eaton's shading him a little bit to left center. And a speedy outfielder reached up and just couldn't get it in the glove. He actually hit the heel of his glove. He might have overran it a little bit.
So it's not been a real good outing for Eaton. He has a base hit, but Danny Santana scored on a single hit to him in the second inning. And now Mauer gets a double here to start the third inning. Plouffe walked his first time up. Outside, ball one. Anyway, it was a beautiful day to spend some time out in the boat yesterday. Beautiful spring day. Listening to 1-0 to Plouffe. Twins' outstanding radio team of Dan Gladden and Corey Probus. I wanted to get that in. They do a great job on radio.
Yeah, they were just on the radio too long yesterday.
Yes, they were. Plouffe walked the first time. Now it's 3-0 the second time against Sale. There they are. Great way to listen to Twins baseball on the radio.
Yes, it is. They do a great job.
There's a strike, 3-1. Suzuki on deck. So like to get back into the lead here, having seen a 2-0 lead erased. And now Plouffe takes another walk. First and second, nobody out for Suzuki.
Sale came into the ballgame only 3 walks in his first 19 innings pitched in the 3 prior starts.
After Plouffe's first inning walk, the Twins had a run in, first and second, 1 down. And then Sale burned the inside corner to both Suzuki and Vargas for a called third strike.
And there aren't too many pitchers, and that's why Sale is who he is, because he can get that strikeout.
Vargas, of course, strikeout prone. You don't see Suzuki strike out very often. I think Fox track showed that the pitch was down and in.
Yeah, Kurt has only struck out 9 times in 55 at bats.
Strike one.
Change up right there. Suzuki has 2 home runs, yet to have a double. "13 hits and 55 at bats."
Foul back, 2 strikes. May 26th is Healthcare Professionals Night at Target Field. Special ticket packages are available. That includes exclusive Twins branded scrubs. Limited number of ticket packages are available, and your only way to get your scrubs, visit twinsbaseball.com/healthcare for tickets and more info. See what Suzuki can get done here on 0-2. Small up, you wouldn't chase.
Struck him out, down and in last time. Does he go back in? Flowers did move in on that previous pitch. It was just up in the strike zone. Watch the catcher move. trying to throw that ball 120 miles an hour. Instead, it was only 97.
And it was a very similar pitch that hit Mike Moustakas in his last start. And Moustakas had the ball deflected up into his jaw. He was very, very lucky that he wasn't more seriously injured. 2-2 to Suzuki. Full count. Vargas on deck.
After 97, then he throws an 86-mile-an-hour changeup, just missed down and away. They list Chris Sale at 6'6", about 180 pounds.
Full count. Drilled into left center field. Bauer had to wait. He'll go to third and beyond. Throw comes into second base, and Suzuki with a sharp RBI single to left center, and the Twins are back in front.
Boy, that ball was down in the strike zone, and even though it was in the mid-90s, Suzuki put some great wood on that. Picks up his 9th RBI as Bauer scores. Just dropping a barrel of the bat and hitting it sharply past Ramirez in the left center. Bauer scores. Plouffe goes to third. And still nobody out.
Twins need a productive at bat here from Kenny Vargas. Vargas, like Suzuki, called out on strikes on a fastball buzzed over the inside corner. That ended the first inning. Runners on the corners and nobody out. Sox will play back in the infield looking for a double play grounder. And that ball gets away from Flowers, and Suzuki eliminates the chance for the double play by advancing to second base.
Yeah, should be a wild pitch. Charge to Chris Sale. Because Flowers was sitting more in, and the ball ended up out of the strike zone. And Sale charged with a wild pitch, his first wild pitch of the year.
Will bring the White Sox infield in. Vargas takes a speed pitch for strike one. 1-1. We're playing back for a double play, but with Suzuki now at second base, they'll try to choke off the run coming home. Big swing and a miss. Vargas whiffed on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. 1-2.
I take that back. It's not a credit to a wild pitch. It's called a pass ball.
Oh, okay.
Wow. These are one of the at-bats, Dick. You'd like to see Sale's best fastball meet Vargas's strongest swing and see where that ball ends up.
1-2.
Like that.
The fastball strikes out Vargas.
Instead, Vargas swings through it.
And now Escobar. Paul Molitor already this year has talked about it with some of the younger players. He says, and they faced a lot of really good fastballs in this young season.
Just a little slow.
Sale, Price, guys like that. And he says, as a hitter, when a young hitter faces that, you think you have to quicken everything up, when in fact it's just the opposite. You just want to make contact and let the power of the pitch do the damage for you. There's a belt high strike to Escobar. Well, the Twins need the veteran Escobar to make contact to the outfield here and get at least one more run in. Strike two with the breaking pitch.
And this is where Sale, and there's only a handful of maybe other pitchers that can go into this situation. Runners at second and third, nobody out, pick up a strikeout. Now ahead of Escobar, 0-2.
Fouled back. He got ahead of Suzuki 0-2, and then Suzuki was able to work the count full and drive the fastball for an RBI hit. Have scored in every inning so far tonight against Sale.
On the ground, under the glove of Johnson. Suzuki will come around third, and a horrible throw by Garcia, or by Eaton. My goodness. The ball rolls all the way up near the first baseline on the carom. And Adam Eaton's having a miserable night in the field here tonight. 2-run score, and Escobar is able to scamper to third on a terrible throw from the outfield.
Well, take a look at the pitch. It's a breaking ball and kind of flattens out right there. Good at bat by Escobar, slapping it through the drawn-in infield. Eaton comes charging in, thinks he has a throw home, and airmails, not even close to Flowers, the catcher. And by the time it hits the limestone in the back and ricochets away, Escobar gets to third base.
So Eaton, who might have been a little tardy in fielding Dozier's single in the second inning, allowing Santana to score all the way from first. This inning started with Mauer's drive to the gap, and Eaton got there but clanked it. A throw that wasn't close in direction or altitude to the target. Infield in again now for Shane Robinson.
Yeah, it'll be a 2-run single for Escobar, and then advancing on the overthrow and the error by Eaton.
And Sale gets ahead again. Robinson fouled out to Abreu his first time up after just missing an extra base hit into the right field corner. 2 strikes in familiar territory for Sale. Inside. Three hits, a walk, big error, which would be bigger if the Twins can get Escobar home. Fouled away.
Yeah, again, the Twins are doing it against Chris Sale, making his 10th start, his 18th appearance against the Twins. 7 wins, only 1 loss, 2.37 ERA. Also has a couple saves against the Twins.
1-2. And another foul. The Twins have done it, put up this big number by anyone's standards against Sale, just by being aggressive at the plate, going after his fastball and on the bases. Twins have on the bases very well here tonight.
He's thrown a couple breaking balls that have left up, and Escobar took advantage of that kind of flat curveball, just like that.
Punched into right. Robinson will bring in Escobar. A 4-run inning and a 6-2 lead. And here comes Don Cooper. This is exactly what you would like to see happen after your team had a deflating loss at home the day before. Facing a guy who's takes a back seat to no one in terms of stuff and ability to dominate. And you've got 6 runs up on the board.
Well, in the first inning, they came out swinging at that fastball, made Sale maybe change his way of thinking, but right there, good piece of hitting by Robinson. Looked like a changeup out over the plate that he didn't try to pull, just slapped it and took it with him the right field. Picks up an RBI, his 6th of the year. So Twins taking advantage of the 2 errors by the White Sox.
Danny Santana reached on a 2-out error charged to Ramirez and came around to score from first base on a single. He was off with the pitch, but still aggressively running the bases, and it led to the second Twins run. And he goes off after that first pitch fastball, fouling it back.
Good swing right there. Fouled it straight back into the net, right behind the catcher and umpire.
Base hit to center. Robinson around second. He'll hold up there, and Eaton fumbled it again. And the hits just keep on coming. My goodness. I don't know that Chris Sale's ever had an inning in his career where he's given up 5 hits in 1 inning.
Well, it looked like another changeup, and Santana hit it right back up the middle.
Don Cooper on the phone.
With Dozier at the plate, he's the 8th man to bat here in the 3rd. Only 1 out in the 3rd, and this is Dozier's 3rd plate appearance.
A lot of pitches thrown by Chris Sale, 30 so far this inning.
Carroll warming up. Dozier takes a strike. Twins face Chris Sale in Chicago. It was his 2015 debut. He went 6 innings and gave up just 5 hits. The Twins have 5 hits here in the 3rd inning alone. A high drive to left field. It is back and gone. A 3-run home run. A 7-run inning for the Twins.
For Dozier, his 2nd home run. And his first since he hit one in Chicago back on April 10th. Got a fastball. And put it into the left field seats.
Hunter takes a strike for Dozier, his 3rd home run in his career against Sale in just 25 at bats. Jammed and a chopper foul. Nine to 2. And a changeup strikes out Hunter. That's just out number 2.
And the 4th strikeout for Sale as the Twins bat around here in the 3rd inning.
That'll bring up Mauer.
Good swing, good that uppercut swing of Brian Dozier, line drive home run.
Mauer started this inning with a line drive to the gap in right center. And Eaton with his speed was able to get there, but the ball hit him right in the middle of the glove and fell out. After a long run, Mauer was given credit for a double.
Trevor May saying thank you, guys.
Strike called, even though Flowers didn't catch the pitch.
I bet you Neil Allen said, hey, make sure you get good and loose, and still a 0-0 ball game. Think that way.
2 strikes to Mauer. Breaking ball, flip to left. And Cabrera is there. Good inning for the Twins after seeing the 2-0 lead erased. The Twins come back with a 7 spot in the 3rd.
and now 9-2. Trevor May will face the bottom third of the Chicago lineup, starting with Connor Gillespie.
Gillespie in his first at bat jumped on that first fastball. This time he takes it for strike one.
Gillespie had a drive to right field. Hunter caught it at the base of the wall. Then Flowers, then Micah Johnson. Just off the outside corner, 1-1.
Well, we talked about both these clubs struggling offensively. And there's 16 hits in the first 3 innings between these two ball clubs.
May to the bag, 1 away. As we've seen May pitch, let me bounce this off of you, and it may be unfair of me to do this. In terms of stuff, and the Twins are hoping that his career plays out like it does, how would you compare Trevor May, just in terms of stuff, not stature, to Brad Radke?
He throws harder than Radke did. Brad Radke had excellent control. He had an excellent changeup, one of the best when he pitched changeups in his career during his time.
1 out and now 1 strike to Flowers.
Brad always seemed to get on top of the baseball and create that good downward play, and I think May, hey, he hasn't really started a lot at this level. He will learn. Like that pitch right there, just trying to overthrow it. You could almost see him get underneath that ball. You want to stay back a little bit longer in that pitching rubber and throw down toward the shin guards of Suzuki and his glove.
Just outside 2-1.
See, it's still a little bit on the flat side. It's not, doesn't have that little bit of an angle. And that's just staying back a little bit longer. Let your body catch up to your arm. Or your arm catch up to your body, because your body flies open. Watch May's delivery. He works off that first base side of the pitching rubber, as so many right-handers do now. You can see the long arm, and it's just not pulling through at the end.
2-2. Jeff swinging, it's a strikeout. Now, what we're seeing, though, is May getting about a strikeout per inning, which on this Twins staff is, frankly, it stands out.
Right.
Follow Twins baseball all season this year with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bats up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet.
You could overpower people like he is right there. Good fastball, 93 miles an hour. A lot of hitters will take that first one. But as the game goes on, you want to hit that ball. You want to get that ball down in the zone a little bit better.
Flared to left, a base hit for Johnson with 2 outs in the second.
And that again, 93 followed by a 93 that was pretty straight. That stayed up in the strike zone. Johnson's second hit and the 8th hit for the White Sox.
Adam Eaton has one of them. He'll hit next.
You know, a couple starts ago, May talked about the 2-seam sinking fastball. And right now, I haven't seen him throw a lot of that. More looks like the 4-seam fastball. What this 2-seam does, it will make you stay down in the strike zone. And you'll get more ground ball outs.
1-0. Well, the reason I asked about Radke is now suddenly May's looking like a guy who can throw it over the plate. Whether it's where exactly he wants to throw it, that may come with time, but he's not walking people. Radke in his heyday gave up a hit per inning pitch. In his best year, when he won 20 games, Radke pitched 239 2/3 innings, gave up 238 hits. Tapper to short. And Santana fires on the run. Good play by the shortstop to retire the White Sox in the 4th. Let's get caught up.
Joe Mauer RBI in the first inning gave the Twins a early 1-0 lead. Brian Dozier picking up an RBI because Santana listened to Gene Glenn at third base and scored. And then a big 7-run inning. Kurt Suzuki with an RBI single. Robinson with an RBI single. Escobar with a big hit. But the biggest hit of the inning came off the bat of Brian Dozier. Right there, a 3-run home run, a big 7-run inning for a 9-2 lead for the Twins.
Finally was having some fun against one of the aces, and they faced a lot of them this year. They knock out Chris Sale after 3. And Carroll comes in for the second time this year.
You can't say that too often when you face a guy like Chris Sale. Carroll just getting called up from the minor leagues on April 26th in his second season with the White Sox. 19 starts last year and 26 appearances.
8 of the 9 runs against Sale, earned runs, all 7 of them in the third inning. Plouffe walked twice against Sale. 1-1. Miss. Twins have lost too many ball games. We know that. 9-12 coming into the ball game today. But then you look at the team, the pitchers, the starting pitchers that they faced, and it is a fact of life in the American League Central. This is the way it is, so there's no point in complaining about it, but it is a fact. Twins have been beaten twice already this year by David Price, once by Chris Sale, Anibal Sanchez, Felix Hernandez. Sale beat him once, and looks like the Twins might beat him in the rematch. But you know, if you're going to get to 500 and beyond in the American League Central, you've got to beat a Chris Sale every once in a while. Samardzija, Twins won't face him in this series. He's the only starter the White Sox have that they won't face. 1-2. The Twins actually fared pretty well against Samardzija. Deflected by the third baseman and picked up nicely by Ramirez. Looked like Gillespie got a piece of his glove on it, and Ramirez was able to stay with the deflection and throw Plouffe out.
Yeah, you back up, your third baseman, especially when that ball is hit to the left of the third baseman, and just a tip. But Ramirez right there, and his strong arm gets Plouffe at first base.
One down, that'll bring up Suzuki. Called out on strikes in the first, and then fell behind Sale 0-2, and that's the worst fate imaginable for any hitter against Sale. And he strung out the count 3-2, then got a fastball down around the knees and drove it hard into left center field. An RBI single, then Escobar with a 2-run single, Robinson with an RBI single, and then a couple of at-bats later, Dozier his 3-run home run. 1 strike. And now a ball.
Scott Carroll, 30 years old. Originally signed by the Cincinnati Reds back in 2007 out of Missouri State.
Breaking ball missing low. 2-1.
He's had a couple injuries that has kind of set him back a little bit. 2009 he had hip surgery. A couple years ago elbow surgery.
Over for a strike. 2-2.
For Chris Sale, the 8 earned runs, a career high. Third time in his career he's given up 8 earned runs. That's hard to believe. 3 times to get it off that guy. He's tough.
Twins got 1 run against him in Chicago and kind of felt good about that. Hard to center. Eaton gets a chance. 2 away. Bring up Vargas. May 6th, it's the 11th annual Kids in the City, celebrating the Fox Sports North Boys and Girls Clubs All-Stars. The event starts with a pregame party at Fulton Brewery, followed by a Twins and A's game. Cost is $75, and it includes food, beverages, ticket to the game, Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar for details. 2 down here in the 4th, and now Vargas. Boy, if the Twins want to flash back and maybe learn a lesson about the importance of continuing to have good at-bats, all they need to do is look back to yesterday's game. Twins had a 7-3 lead after 5 and did not score. There's a chopper over the mound, and Ramirez is right there, and eventually saw the Tigers come back, tie it, and then take the lead and steal a ball game that the Twins should have had. Ramirez will lead off the 5th for Chicago. Twins have knocked out Chris Sale on their way to a 9-2 lead. Ramirez takes strike 1. He'll be followed by Melky Cabrera and Jose Abreu. Right field hit to Hunter. And I think he lost that in the lights, but was able to hang with it, make the catch. 1 away. See fans of the game enjoying a Twins lead here. Maybe school tomorrow. Not for those kids. Maybe those kids. You count down the days left in school when you were a schoolboy in California.
Did I have to go to school?
You did in September, didn't you? Well, there's one more off the list here on September 14th.
Yeah, they'll never miss me.
23 days left for most kids in the Twins territory. 1-0, and now a strike. It was always tough, wasn't it? Well, you were California, that's different, but boy, you grew up in Minnesota, and it started warming up outside. The birds were singing, the grass was turning green, and the leaves were coming out, and we had to sit in school, all 7 of us.
How many did you have in your graduating class?
Well, we had moved to Staples, and there were like 130 then. But you know, when I went to school as an elementary kid, we had 7 kids in the whole school.
7. Wow.
Line foul just past Jose Abreu. Remember that happened to Kurt Suzuki when Oswaldo Arcia had a foul ball hit him in the ankle, and Abreu now is going to move almost directly behind home plate. Plouffe in foul ground makes the catch, 2 away. And Cabrera retired, and Abreu kind of had his life. Well, I guess when you've gone through what he's gone through to get to this country, you've had more scary things happen to you. 2 down. Abreu's story, getting out of Cuba and eventually getting to the United States to play baseball, of great interest.
Defected from Cuba back in August of 2013.
Ball 1.
Rookie of the year last year in the American League. In Cuba, played 10 seasons for the Cuban national team. Hit .341, 178 home runs.
Big fly ball right field. Hunter, no problem with the lights, makes the catch. Trevor Mays handled the 7-run lead awfully well. He's retired 6 of the 7 batters.
Circle, we have $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets for Brecca, the bride, who is getting married in 3.5 weeks. She and her girlfriends are here tonight wearing their Circle Me Bird shirts, noted. And the bachelorette party, I understand, is actually on Saturday. Tonight is the pre-bachelorette party, which you didn't even know about.
Right. So I really would have washed my hair if I would have known I was going to be on TV.
You're wearing a veil, though. We
Yes.
don't even know.
Yes. And I want to say hi to my kids, Kezzy and Jamin. And hi, Jeff. I love you.
Aww.
Oh, very nice.
Congratulations.
Good find, Marty.
Thank you, Marty. Eduardo Escobar taking strike 1 from Carroll. Escobar with an awfully big hit. The Twins got 6 hits in the 3rd inning, and Dozier's 3-run home run will be remembered. But Twins hadn't scored yet in the 3rd inning. They had the bases loaded and 1 out. Excuse me, they had 1 run in. And Vargas had just struck out. Sale got ahead of Escobar 0-2. And then he got a 2-run single to center field. Eaton's throw was well off the mark. A couple of other singles followed. The 3-run homer followed, and it all turned into a 7-run inning. But maybe the biggest hit of the inning was Escobar's 2-run single. 1-2. And Escobar strikes out for the first out of the 5th inning.
And Carroll picking up his first strikeout. Might have been that split finger he throws.
Shane Robinson with an RBI single in the 7-run 3rd.
It looked just like a good sinker.
Back to the mound. Robinson retired on 1 pitch. Talking in the last half inning about the great starting pitching in the American League Central, and that's
not counting Justin Verlander, who we found out today is going to get a third MRI.
Yeah, there's something in that shoulder area or that's bothering him.
Usually a second one is just to confirm the first one, and that's what happened with Verlander. But now for some reason the Tigers and Verlander want to get a third MRI of the tricep shoulder area. Remember when the Tigers were here, Verlander lightly played catch here at Target Field. 1-0 to Santana, swing and a miss, 1-1. Santana scored a couple of runs, reached in a 2-out error charged to Ramirez, and then singled and scored in the third. Kansas City has a 4-0 lead on the Tigers tonight. Toronto in the 9th inning has a 5-1 lead on Cleveland. That's down the line, and Cabrera stays with it, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 5th for Carroll, who's retired all 6 batters he's faced. That was the White Sox.
Now we go back to September last year. May ended up working 6 innings in that ballgame. Actually, that was his second win against the White Sox. His first one came back on September 3rd. And that first major league win he had, Twins scored 11 runs for him. He beat John Danks 11-4. And here he has a 9-2 lead going into the 6th inning.
LaRoche takes ball 1, now ball 2.
Now what I'd like to see May do is get into the 7th inning right here. He has that 7-run lead. His last 2 innings since he was given that big lead, 13 pitches to get out of the 4th and only 10 last inning. So he needs another quick inning.
Twins shifting the infield with a 2-0 count. 3-0. We've seen the Twins shift Plouffe over to the right side of the infield after strike 1, but now with the count 2-0, 3-0, they don't figure LaRoche is going to drop down a bunt. There's a strike 3-1, and May has gotten to the point, I think, where he would take it as an insult if he walked somebody. He's going to try to come back here and throw strikes to LaRoche.
No walks.
Fly ball to right.
Make him swing the bat. Good things might happen.
Just 2 walks allowed, one of those intentional. Suzuki will come out and check with May. That's, I guess, what made me start thinking about comparisons with Radke, because Radke so rarely walked anybody, and that allowed him to give up a hit an inning and survive with a lot of scoreless innings.
Yeah, Trevor May so far here tonight, he did give up, some hits, but kept the minimum or the damage to a minimum. Only 2 runs allowed, both of them coming in that 3rd inning. When the White Sox were able to get 4 hits off of him. And then the bottom of the 3rd, the Twins made it a 9-2 lead thanks to the 7 runs.
In the right field corner, down for a hit. Hunter catches and holds Garcia to a single. Nice job by Torrey closing in on the line drive base hit.
Garcia getting his second hit of the ball game off of Trevor May.
For those of you who don't remember May in his major league debut, called up in early August to make his major league debut against the A's, and he had a frightful outing. We were graced by Tony La Russa's guest appearance on the air, and May really struggled, walked 7 men in 2 innings. And you take that start, and now fast forward to what he's done so far this year. And as the Hall of Famer Tony La Russa said, you know, if you can't throw 2 out of 3 pitches over the plate for strikes, you don't belong up here. And May was all over the place, and now he's become a control artist, at least in terms of not walking people.
Right.
1 strike.
I think the biggest thing when you're young, do you belong here? You know, I mean, you're making your major league debut. He's 24 years old, but you know, do you belong here? And then you have an outing like that. Credit May, you know, he didn't give up. He went right back at it. Won his first major league game 4 starts later.
You know, went back or past opening night jitters, because in his first 3 appearances, one of them was a relief appearance, he pitched a total of 9 innings and walked 13 guys. So this is quite a dramatic transformation. 2-1. So we're going to miss 2-2. I guess the most immediate concern regarding May tonight was whether that elbow area, the forearm area, would tighten up at all, and so far he's looked just fine.
See if he can get a ground ball right here.
In the dirt, full count now.
That's the changeup.
I don't think that he's had very good command of that pitch. He's tried to throw it a couple of times and thrown it right into the ground.
Actually, that's where if you're going to miss, you want to miss down.
But I mean, they haven't been close to being a pitch that a hitter would swing at.
See, now you see the little movement of this. Is a 2-seamer.
And it's past Dozier into right field.
But it's not going to do anything if it's up about letter high. A good 2-seamer, what Suzuki wanted, is that, again, downward plane where you hopefully will get a ground ball. Instead, that ball left up, and Gillespie gets his first hit. Talk about location. See where Suzuki, he wants it down by his shin guards, and it's up by his mask.
Duly noted, I'm sure, in the Twins dugout, as they are hoping to get 6 innings, maybe 7, an out or 2 in the 7th inning out of May here tonight. Tyler Flowers at the plate, and the beginnings of some activity in the Twins bullpen now. Ball 1. Flowers with a pop to short and a strikeout. Foul back, 1-1.
Don't want to make a mistake to this guy, because he has very good power. 15 home runs last year for the White Sox. Just 1 so far this year.
Up and in, 2-1. May wobbling a bit here in the 6th inning, and the Twins want to see him at least get through the 6th.
This is where I've seen him get tired before, and I always question the conditioning if you start to tire in the 5th and 6th inning. And I'm talking about your lower body.
And he gets the outside corner to Flowers, who doesn't like the call. 2-2. You saw Tonkin and Thielbar warming up. The Twins would like to keep this big lead
in their hopes of getting J.R. Graham into a game later on. He's pitched once in 2.5 weeks. But first things first, getting out of this inning. Popped up right field, and Hunter retreats near the edge of the track for out number 2. First and third, 2 down, and that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Micah Johnson.
Garcia at second base, tagging up and moving over to third base. Johnson 2 for 2, a couple singles.
A run scored when the White Sox got their 2 runs in the 3rd inning. Breaking ball outside, ball 1.
Last 2 breaking balls have slipped out of his hand.
Not for you, because you had maybe the best curveball of all time, but where does a pitcher, where does his fatigue first set in? Does it set in on one pitch more than the other? The fastball location, or the velocity, or the location of the curve?
I just think location. You know, the drive, the push off of that pitching rubber. It's that second wind that you want, and sometimes in this ball game it's the third wind that you want to get over that hump. You're going to have innings that your arms, you know, you're just not going to make the pitches, but you still got to work down. May's getting away with a lot of pitches up in the zone.
And now a walk to load the bases. You made it to the Hall of Fame in part because of your wind, your stamina, your determination.
I had a lot of wind.
And Paul Molitor to the mound, and it doesn't look like May's going to get through 6 innings here.
See, and this to me is more frustrating than he may be going to get the win, that he can't get through this inning, because I've seen it before. He gets in the 6th inning and he just kind of runs out of gas.
And given his history this year, when he starts walking people, it's time to make a move. This is just the 3rd walk he's given up this year. He'll come out of the ball game, and Caleb Thielbar will try to strand 3 runners with 2 outs in the 6th. Vote Twins up to 35 times on the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot at twinsbaseball.com. Voting now is exclusively online and available on your computer. No more paper ballots. You can also vote on your tablet and smartphone. You can vote early and vote often. Help select the starting lineups for the 2015 All-Star Game. Vote at twinsbaseball.com now. Twins had a healthy lead, turned it over to the bullpen because of Phil Hughes' injury after 5, and the game turned as soon as the Twins turn to the bullpen, and now Caleb Thielbar will try to make sure that doesn't happen here in the 6th.
Well, he pitched an inning in yesterday's ball game, one shutout inning. He relieved Casey Fien on one pitch.
One down, or one pitch takes care of it. The White Sox strand 3 in the 6th. And the Twins preserve their 7-run lead, and Brian Dozier will lead off the bottom of the inning. Presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Try the new 100% sirloin third-pound burgers, starting at $4.99 at McDonald's. The White Sox put a threat together, but Caleb Thielbar took care of that on one pitch. The White Sox leave the bases full. Fox Tracks presented by Jeep as Brian Dozier takes strike 1. Dozier came up 3 times in the first 3 innings and drove in 4 runs. 3-run home run that essentially ended the night for Chris Sale. Pulled down the line just wide of the bag.
Dozier trying to hit that bag again.
Might not be the best time to bring this up, but news today that game times in baseball in April, not counting today obviously, but the running time of baseball games is down 9 minutes this year, from just over, was 3:03 I think was the time last year, to 2:94, a little less than 2:90, 2:54 excuse me, inside the ball.
I mean, that's what baseball was trying to do all winter long, trying to speed up the game a little bit, keep the action going. Of course, you're going to have games like yesterday that, you know, hey, well, how many runs were there scored? 17 runs, 30 hits. You're going to have games like that.
Just outside to Dozier, now 2-2.
The game was 3 hours and 33 minutes yesterday.
And when you have a lot of mid-inning pitching changes and a lot of runs scored, that's going to happen. But you know, this is no longer a small sample size. We've got a month's worth of games that have been timed. 2-2. Chopper. And Ramirez is going to have to hurry. Dozier down the line is nipped by a half step. Spring training, I talked with Commissioner Rob Manfred about how to measure the success of the initiative to speed up play.
I'm not really focused on the average game time. I do think it'd be nice to get back to a number that starts with 2, but I'm really not thinking about the average game time. What I'd like to have is, by the end of the season, I'd like to have people writing and saying, you know, baseball was responsive to the fans on this issue. They made some changes, and the games just seem a little crisper.
I think we've seen that, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we have. You know, hitters aren't stepping out of the box. Torrey Hunter taking a strike right there. He's still in the box, ready for the next pitch. Pitchers aren't walking around the mound. They're getting set like Carroll is right there. Get the next pitch toward home plate.
Up and in. And the move toward speeding up the game actually began a couple years ago when they, for me anyway, when they allowed pitchers to stay on the mound, lick their fingers and wipe off. How many times did we see
Kevin Slowey,
Scott Baker, they get off the mound to lick their fingers, and then that was just the start of the process to get them to get back on up to toe the rubber. 2 down.
How about the job of Scott Carroll right now? 8 up, 8 down. Relieved Chris Sale in the 4th inning.
Mauer was the last man that Sale faced. Mauer put the barrel of the bat on it and hit a liner to Cabrera to end the inning. Joe was 2 for 3 against Sale, continuing to hit the ball very well against even the best left-handed pitchers in the game. I don't know if it's going to happen, but wouldn't be the first time that Mauer takes ball 1. The best hitter on the team, when he starts going, and we've seen Joe have I think a much better month of April than he had in any month in 2014. The rest of the team, the rest of the lineup feeds off of him. It happens so often that when a guy gets going again in the middle, and Joe's had maybe 2 disappointing years in a row, but he is that good that I think he can make people hitting in front of him and behind him that much better.
Oh, I agree. What I like to see what Joe's doing now, he's driving the ball better than he did, say, the first couple weeks of the season. More doubles. Just his bats, even that one right there, he got good wood on it, but just fouled it off.
The last time I mentioned the fact that he hasn't struck out much this year,
he's struck out. Mention that. RBI single in the 1st inning, a double in the 3rd. Started that 7-run rally for the Twins.
And he strikes out. Carroll, 3 perfect innings in relief of Chris Sale.
You're not ever saying that again.
With the Twins right now comfortably in front.
Twins scored a run in the 1st inning thanks to Joe Mauer's RBI single, an unearned run in the 2nd, but an RBI single by Brian Dozier, and then the bottom of the 3rd inning. What an inning it was. 6 hits for the Twins. Escobar with that big 2-run single. Robinson with an RBI single. There's the RBI single by Robinson, and then the big blow of the inning. The 3-run home run off the bat with Brian Dozier, his 2nd home run of the year. 7 runs put on off of Chris Sale in the bottom of the third.
Jose Ramirez will lead things off against Caleb Thielbar. The bullpen a little beaten up. The reason we mentioned J.R. Graham's name, he hasn't pitched hardly at all, just once in 2.5 weeks since he hit Alex Rios' hand. And Paul Molitor made it as a priority to do everything he could to carry a 12-man pitching staff all year long, when in reality, because of Graham's limited use, it's been virtually an 11-man pitching staff.
Right.
1-2 to Ramirez. So important for the Twins to win the game. Important for Thielbar to pitch a scoreless seventh, because it might allow Graham an opportunity to get an inning or two in. Lifted foul, out of play. Melky Cabrera on deck. Mauer backhands. Thielbar to the mound, or to the bag rather, one away.
Yeah, good feed right there to Thielbar from Joe Mauer.
Don't you think we're seeing more of that than we saw last year? Joe going and being aggressive and taking ground balls to his right.
Yeah, he's starting to learn the game. I'm over at first base a lot better. Meaning, you know, I'm sure when you go to first base, you're learning a new position. How far do I go to the right? And good job right there, because that's the pitcher's responsibility to get over there. I wanted my first baseman to go into that hole. And it's a learning thing.
He told me early last year, as he was transitioning to full-time first basehood, if there is such a term. One of the things, I mean, look how far he's playing off the line right now. He had a terrible time feeling comfortable being that far away from the bag, because on a ground ball, of course, he's got to run to the bag, he's got to find the bag, he's got to get in position to make the catch of the throw. But I'll bet if you ask him now, and I will, he's feeling a lot more comfortable playing that far off the first base bag.
But you know what? Joe is such a good athlete. I think if they, whatever he would learn it, no matter what position.
But it's natural. As good an athlete as he is, it still takes time to feel comfortable doing something.
I agree. You know, the thing about Thielbar right here, and I don't mean to change the subject from Joe, but Thielbar, with Nolasco's schedule to pitch on Saturday, there's 4 left-handers out in that bullpen. You know, Thielbar, these outings very, very important for him. You know, you have Aaron Thompson out there. He's done a great job. Now you have Malone, another lefty, and of course you have the closer in Glenn Perkins.
Back foul into the camera well. Twins have Brian Dunsing, who's not on the active roster. He pitched to some batters today, and everything went fine.
Right. 2
simulated innings. So the Twins.
He's about ready to come off.
Chopper to short. Thielbar getting some much needed work here and getting some ground ball outs. 2 down. Soup.com trivia question with Abreu coming to the plate. Abreu is 1, we believe, and I believe your favorite hitter, Ron Kittle, is the other.
Yeah.
35 home runs back in his Rookie of the Year season in '83.
17 off of me.
with just a slight exaggeration. I remember that coincidentally happened to be my rookie year as a broadcaster, and the White Sox had Kittle and Greg Walker come up at the same time, and then some veterans, Tom Paciorek and all that, and they bouncer to short. They won the division that year, and the theme was winning ugly. And I'll leave you to make up your own joke about that.
Telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC. Good job by Scott Carroll. 9 up, 9 down, 3 shutout innings. Bottom of the 7th inning belongs to Dan Jennings, making his 9th relief appearance out of the bullpen. The bullpen is for the White Sox have done a very good job combined coming into this ball game. A 2.68 earned run average. Jennings in his first season coming over from the Florida Marlins where he spent the last 3 seasons.
Trevor Plouffe drew 2 walks against Chris Sale, scored a run, and he hit a chopper to the left side of the infield and was thrown out of the 4th. The consensus was among baseball people that the White Sox won January. Made some trades, really beefed up their team, and were kind of a sleeper pick within the division to maybe get into postseason play. Now that might still happen. The fact of the matter is they haven't done much winning in April. They're on the verge of going 8-11. Their team ERA is essentially what the Twins is. The team batting average is worse than the Twins. Each team has struggled in the home run department. Fielding hasn't been very good. So this isn't a good way for Robin Ventura to get his season started, because the White Sox have been one of the more disappointing teams in the American League. 2-2 to Plouffe. He'll be followed by Suzuki and Vargas. Swing and a miss, and the Chicago bullpen continues to have much more success than the Chicago starter did tonight.
Yeah, Jennings with a fastball in the low 90s. That last pitch, that slider, they say that's his best pitch. 27-year-old.
Kurt Suzuki with an RBI single in the 7-run 3rd inning. Strike on the outside corner. White Sox have had a horrible week, very disjointed week. They did play yesterday in the weird environs of Camden Yards. No fans were allowed. They had a rain suspended game on Friday, a postponement on Saturday because of weather, the completion of Friday's game and the regular game Sunday, and then they were only able to play 1 game in Baltimore because of the civic unrest there. On 1 hop to short, Ramirez has it. 2 down. So I think you probably would be smart to allow for just the crazy week that they've had. If you think they haven't played well here tonight, you're right. But maybe there's some contributing factor just based on everything they've had to go through the last week.
Well, baseball players are conditioned, to play every day. And, sometimes when that's taken away, it's sometimes hard to get back into that rhythm. And Robin Ventura knows that.
I mean, there really hasn't been a normal day on their schedule in a week, starting with Friday's suspended game. No game Saturday. In essence, double header, the completion of the first game, playing the regular game on that was not a normal Sunday, and then they flew to Baltimore and had everything happen there. And even though they played a game yesterday, I can't imagine a more peculiar game at this level, a major league game that was, played in the circumstances you might see in a high school game.
You heard a lot of the interviews from the players after that ball game yesterday, and a lot of them mentioned, felt like a B game that you have in spring training. You know, maybe a 10 o'clock game when nobody shows up.
One and one to Vargas. 2 strikeouts and a ground ball. Big swing and foul. You know, and I was watching highlights of the Baltimore game, and it was a challenge for the announcers, of course, radio and TV. The guy I kept thinking about was, remember Rex Barney?
Yes.
The public address announcer. When a fan would catch a foul ball, this is dribbled back to the mound, Rex Barney would say, give that fan a contract. What would he have said since there were no fans in the ballpark?
He would have run and got it himself.
We can, of course, but if we could request certain games to last 2 hours and 3 minutes like the one in Seattle last Friday, we'd wish that for this Friday, because a lot of us want to watch as much of that hockey game on Friday night as well.
Good luck to the Wild.
Emilio Bonifacio, the hitter. Caleb Thielbar out there, 1-1 the count. It's Thielbar to start the Chicago 8th inning. He's gotten 4 ground ball outs in rather quick fashion. He's only thrown 18 pitches, counting the 2 this inning, and now 2-1.
Bonifacio in his first season with the White Sox. Last year, split time between the Cubs and the Braves. Not getting a lot of playing time. You see the 13 at-bats.
And up the middle, and Thielbar did a nice job skipping rope there. And being missed by that hot shot up the middle. Leadoff single in the 8th.
Bonifacio taking that ball right back up the middle, and somehow it missed Caleb. So the White Sox get their 11th hit. First off of Thielbar.
Strike at the knees. Michael Tonkin, who has not pitched for a few days for Rochester before being called up, is warming up for the second time. In case there's any issue here in the 8th. Over for strike 2.
J.J. Shuck in his first season with the White Sox. Last year between the Angels and the Indians.
Half swing, did he go?
Yes, and Shuck has gone on strikes. One away.
Thielbar picking up his first strikeout. Good breaking ball. Shuck unable to hold up.
One down, and now Connor Gillespie. Gillespie's hit the ball hard twice tonight. Got a single in the 6th inning that began the difficulty for Trevor May as he tried to wrap up 6 innings. Couldn't do it. Thielbar had to come in. Actually, situation was beginning to get a little tense given what happened yesterday against the Tigers. Bases loaded, 2 out, and on the first pitch, Thielbar got a ground ball out. That has gone a long way toward restoring some order here. 1-1 to Gillespie. Foul back. It's 1-2.
Thielbar, 28 years old. Last year, the whole season with the Twins. 54 relief appearances. 35 strikeouts in 47 2/3 innings. Making his 6th relief appearance. Came up when Brian Dunsing went on to the save list.
Swing and a miss, 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff single.
Good location of that breaking.
Tonight after the postgame show, Fox Sports Live will get you caught up on a full night of NHL and NBA playoff action. First round of the NFL Draft plus highlights of tonight's MLB games. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1 or see it simulcast right here on Fox Sports North. Michael Tonkin will get in here with Caleb Thielbar doing a nice job retiring 6 of the 7 men he faced.
Good job, Caleb Thielbar.
Training now, making his reappearance with the big league club.
Yeah, 3 stints with the club last year. Those are his numbers. Down in Rochester this year, he made 8 relief appearances. 7 1/3 innings, only a couple runs allowed. 0-1 record, 2.45 ERA. He had 5 saves. Caleb Thielbar relaxing a little bit after a nice 2 innings of work.
The Twins general manager Terry Ryan was down in Rochester, and when it wasn't raining out the games down there, he did see Tonkin pitch. He was impressed with what he said was an improved slider, just to give some of the hitters a different look, a different pitch. So Tonkin, who was sent down to the minor leagues to improve that pitch, has done so, according to the general manager. That's one of the reasons he's up here now. First pitch popped up. Bauer
You got to like these relievers, what they've done. Thielbar one pitch to get out of when he relieved May, and here Compton one pitch.
On Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, we'll look at how the Twins scored all 9 of those runs against Chris Sale, especially in the third inning. 7 runs came in the third. The big blast came off the bat of Brian Dozier, a 3-run home run for Dozier. We'll also look at that in our post-game show, and we will hear from the manager, Paul Molitor. It's all coming up on what should be a very positive Twins Live tonight. Dick and Bert.
Well, thank you, Marty, and frankly, the night couldn't have gone any better for the Twins than it did, given what happened yesterday. It was a really disappointing loss. When you've got the Tigers down 7-3 at home after 5, you're supposed to win that game, and that didn't happen. And so the
credit to Tigers, though. What did he have? 3 home runs.
Yeah.
Or 4 home runs total.
It's Minnesota native Jake Petrichka.
Yeah, Petrichka coming in for the 4th time this year. He started the season on a disabled list, some right arm strain, activated on April 20th.
Clock strikes presented by Carrier. Eduardo Escobar grounds the first pitch into right field. Well, it's been that kind of a night. Twins relievers come in on one pitch, they get the next out, and Petrichka comes in, and on his first pitch, a ground ball single.
That is the first hit for the Twins since the 3rd inning, when they scored 7 runs.
Shane Robinson will hit. Short right, and that'll die in front of the right fielder Shuck. And 2 pitches into the 8th inning, the Twins have 2 hits. Twins hoping to improve to 10-12 on the year. For what it's worth, if this game holds up, the Twins end up winning it, they will be in 3rd place in the division, marginally ahead of the White Sox and 2.5 games ahead of the Indians. Indians lost to Toronto 5-1. Kansas City beating up on Detroit. It's 8-0. Strike 1 to Danny Santana. Royals started the night a half game behind Detroit. Looks like those 2 teams are going to flip-flop. Santana to left. Cabrera there. 1 away. Pretty well hit ball, and Santana has a hit, a couple of lineouts to Cabrera.
Well, everybody contributing tonight. Brian Dozier with that big 3-run home run. Jason Vargas, the only one without a hit. Excuse me, Trevor Plouffe But Plouffe walked a couple times, scored a run. Kenny Vargas.
Here's Dozier. Belted a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning against Chris Sale, his 3rd career home run against Sale. Nice stop by Ramirez. Out at second. Very nice play by the Chicago shortstop, taking a hit away from Brian Dozier.
Yeah, ball looked like it was going to head into left field, but Ramirez went to his right very quickly. Dozier hitting it sharply. And a good hard slide by Robinson. And Johnson right there gets to throw. Has to get out of the way. No throw to first.
Chris Herman is going to hit for Torrey Hunter. And Herman drives it to the gap in left center field. Eaton chasing it. He won't get there. And Herman again on the first pitch ends up driving in 2 runs with a double. Twins striking early against Petrichka.
Chris Herman picking up his first hit, and the first hit as a pinch hitter for the Twins this year. Jumping on that first pitch. His first double of the year, driving in a couple runs, now with 4 runs batted in on the season. And it's an 11-2 ball game.
And here's Mauer with 2 hits. Hits his first 2 times up. Strike 1. Down the line, a base hit. And Mauer's driven in a run with a base hit. And it's a 3-run inning against Petrichka.
Yeah, Mauer picking up his 2nd RBI of the ball game on his 3rd hit.
12-3. And now Plouffe.
That sinker just stayed up. And Jost hitting it sharply into left field. And Herman scores the 3rd run of the inning.
And now Plouffe with 2 gone. 4 hits in the inning. Remember, the second out was recorded on a really nice play, a hit robbing play by the shortstop, Alexei Ramirez. Santana, for that matter, hit a liner to left. There's J.R. Graham. He's going to get the top of the 9th inning in a non-save situation. The lead has grown to 10 runs. Petrichka, for a while last year, was the White Sox closer.
He had a great year last year. 67 relief appearances, a 1.43 ERA, 14 saves.
Slow bouncer fielded by Gillespie, and that ends it. Petrichka gives up 3, and we'll see J.R. Graham for the first time in a long time. Dozier with a 3-run home run. Joe Mauer with 3 hits. Trevor May pitched into but not through the 6th inning. And we'll get our first look in a long time of a Rule 5 draftee, J.R. Graham.
Yeah, Graham making his 6th relief appearance. He last worked on Sunday here on April 19th against the Cleveland Indians. Pitched 1 inning, gave up a couple hits, a solo home run to Carlos Santana. Twins ended up winning that ball game 7-2. Chris Herman staying in the ball game, taking over as he pinch hit for Torrey Hunter in right field.
Micah Johnson, the first batter. Down and in, ball 1. Graham did pitch in that Sunday game against Cleveland, then didn't pitch at all on the road trip. Hasn't pitched in the homestand yet.
Yeah, what did I say the other day? He got a free trip to Kansas City and Seattle.
2-0. He's a Rule 5 pickup, so he has to stay on the roster. And coming out of spring training, because of his spring training, Paul Molitor put him in some pressure situations, certainly more pressure than a 10-run game in the 9th inning. He had the unfortunate outing against the Royals when the first pitch he threw here at Target Field, after 3 effective outings on the first road trip, first pitch he threw here at Target Field hit Alex Rios in a finger and broke the finger. Rios on the disabled list and will be for another month or so.
But remember, he came in with bases loaded, and here's a young kid trying to make a name, and that ball just came up and in, not anywhere on purpose that Graham tried to, pitch Rios hard inside.
So the Twins have tried to find less stressful spots for a guy experiencing everything for the first time. 2-2 to Johnson. Chopper to third. Plouffe charges. He's got to hurry because Johnson can fly. Got him. Good play by Trevor Plouffe.
Trevor's getting better and better at third base. He's committed only 1 error, but it's a nice play. I think Robin Ventura wants to have his people look at this, but Trevor comes in on the run, has to get it over there quickly. A bang play. Of course, Johnson says he's safe. But
you say why
Gibson said.
Right, and you're saying, well, look, come on, it's a 12-2 ball game, but you do this if you're the manager, you do it for the player.
Right.
Johnson busted his tail down the line, and if they've got a chance to reward him with a hit, and the manager says, let's wrap this thing up, well, you're not encouraging your players to charge hard out of the box. I don't know that there's conclusive evidence to overrule the out call. But still, it's the appropriate thing for Ventura to do here. Ventura looking at the replay up on the video board here. Take another look. And I think he'll get a base hit. I think his foot was on the bag before the ball hit the back of Plouffe's glove. Nice music here at Target Field. The Beatles, Let It Be. In other words, keep the call the way it is. It's a good play by Plouffe, but I don't think it's going to stand.
Saw Robin Ventura there. Very, very good ball player himself. A 6-time Gold Glove winner at third base. And we'll see what the umpires call.
Yep. Out.
Wow.
Well, I'm surprised. I already put it in my scorebook as a hit. So it is a good play for Trevor Plouffe against Micah Johnson.
Well, Trevor couldn't have made it any better. Whether he's safe or out, that's the best play. It's a very good play by Plouffe.
And now Eaton, 1 for 4.
Take a look at it again.
What's on the bag, and I can still see the ball before it gets to Plouffe's glove. Outside, ball 1 to Eaton. Eaton with a hit and 4 at bats, but some adventures in the outfield. 7-run third inning. Bauer hit a drive to the gap. Eaton got there. The ball hit his glove and bounced out. Bauer was given credit for a double, but that really opened up the whole inning.
Yeah, it really did. It almost looked like he overthrew it because overran it because the ball hit the heel of his glove.
It was nowhere near the wall.
But again, that's a long way for him because he was shading Joe in left center.
Right.
And he went a long way for that ball. and unable to catch it.
1-2 to Heaton. And a called third strike with Graham shaving the outside corner.
Good fastball, great location.
Now for what's next, brought to you by Century Link. Jose Quintana's had a tough go this year. Kyle Gibson. Have we seen a different Kyle Gibson than we saw last year? He's had some good outings and some not so good outings.
He's coming off that really good outing in Seattle where he went into the 8th inning. Twins ended up winning the ball game 4-2 in 11 innings, but Kyle only gave up a couple runs.
1 strike to Alexei Ramirez. One and one. Hit hard over the reach of Dozier. That'll run the gap to the wall. And Ramirez has his second hit, second double in the ball game. This comes with 2 outs in the 9th.
Well, that fastball had no movement whatsoever, and it was pretty straight. And Ramirez hitting it sharply. Brian Dozier leaped for it, got just out of his reach. And Ramirez again, a .315 career hitter against the Twins, picks up his second hit. He now has 7 doubles on the season.
Now Melky Cabrera singles his first 2 times up. Six and a third innings in the big league so far for J.R. Graham. Strike 1.
Graham, 25 years old, a Rule 5 draft from the Atlanta Brave organization. His major league debut opening day in Detroit, 2 shutout innings. Even though the Twins lost 4-0. Good start for Graham.
Tamper to short. An effective inning for Graham.
Yep.
And a great way to start a 4-game series against the White Sox. Tom Hanneman, the Twins knocked out the Chicago ace and responded very well after yesterday's disappointing loss.
Dick, scoring runs is always a great thing, but when you get them on sale, it's even better. Coming up on Twins Live, we'll talk about a very big 3rd inning for the Minnesota Twins tonight. Brian Dozier, 4 RBI game. We're here from Molly, and we'll look ahead to Game 2.